Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, everyone. Let's get started. Welcome everybody to the March 10th SIG Multicluster call, and this is the time of the year which is quite convenient for folks in Europe because the US has already switched to summertime, so it's an hour earlier for us. It's nice. Anyway, on the agenda today, we don't have any topics, but we've got a couple of scrub items which are fairly big. So Laura, you've got the first one. Do you want to share
Hi.
your screen?
Yes, let me get my screen share going. Okay. All right, so I want to bring up this one from About API. So the About API, a couple years ago at this point now, there was a PR that reorganized some of the directory structure from what it originally was. But at that time, it left all of the old things rather, and then it didn't pull up everything from the old structure into the new structure, partially because at the time of 12, the PR12, the intent was to put the CRD files in a really specific place, but there were some other like controller files and like Docker files and other stuff that were not moved at that point, I think for that reason. Um, and this has caused us some issues over time because since there's two copies of like all of the types or the CRD files, then people change one thing and not the other. So we've tried before to kind of fix that in the context of a totally separate issue, which was to update to kubebuilder v4, but that ended up being like too convoluted to both unroll the stuff that hadn't been moved before and update to kubebuilder v4 at the same time. So that set of PRs didn't make it through. So this is another attempt just focusing on um, finishing, quote unquote, the code organization that was started in PR12. So to say this even more specifically, there's this directory called cluster property in here that has a bunch of stuff in here. This was the original organization. And then there's a package APIs that has the new organization effectively for the purposes of the types in the CRD. So there's a bunch of stuff here that explains what I did. But importantly, it's that I'm unroll that cluster property directory the rest of the way so that it's en route. Um, I tried to maintain the changes that have been made to files and cluster properties since then, which I saw changes by these three contributors, and I went commit by commit in those directories to make sure that the changes were incorporated. But I am human, so but I think it's pretty good. And then I checked the makefile functions to make sure that everything still worked because I needed to change some paths and stuff in there. And these are specific ones that I thought were important and that still work in this PR. Sometimes I had to make a judgment call on code organization, which I defaulted to what the current KubeBuilder v4 is without actually upgrading like all of our other dependencies to v4. This is what a clean new KubeBuilder v4 generated project looks like for comparison. And then there's some caveats down here as well. Make test and some of the organization of tests is not in line with this v4 setup. And one really weird thing is that we have two different code generation tool chains being used. V1 Alpha 1 is using this hack update code gen, which is similar to what's in KK. And V1 Beta 1 is using the controller runtime style, which is uses the controller runtime CLI. And I've left them both in for now. But yeah, so that's like the story. And feel free to ask me more questions about it too. There's a lot of files changed because it's a big unroll. A lot of them are moved, but you know how that is. And then I did try and add some notes to things that weren't just clean moves to explain like why they happened. And then we're having a debate, including an update 6 minutes ago from Stephen about the module name, because in the cluster property directory, the module was called like about-api/cluster property, because that was like the cube builder auto generated or whatever. And in the move from PR12 in package APIs, it was called sigs.case.io/about-api. So we're discussing which of those and how to do that. And one problem is again related to the fact that we have two different code gen paths, and they get a little freaked out from when I was trying to do this last week. But that's the current thing I think that I'll have to work on. And otherwise, I am interested in other people's eyes on the rest of it and any opinions on that too. Okay, that's my story.
Yeah, thank you very much for all this. So my concern about the whole module name
Yeah,
thing is that if we change, well, if the PR changes it, then until we fix it, it'll break people who are
yeah,
importing this stuff.
yeah,
Well, I mean, they'd have to bump their uh, module reference as well,
yeah.
so it wouldn't happen accidentally. But
I think I might try. Oh, hello. Okay. Yeah, I think I might also try. I didn't want to do something that's disruptive, but I might, in another branch, fix the module name to sigs.case.io and then collapse the CodeGen stuff so that it's the just one style. So I'm not like supporting both. And I didn't want to do something like that intrusive, but also I think it's unnecessary work basically to maintain both if that's what's making it difficult to preserve this module name, which is more important. So
yeah,
yeah, I will work on that on a separate um, test branch, and then we can all discuss. I don't know how attached anybody was to the KK code gen that got introduced in PR12. And there isn't a lot of context of exactly why. Maybe it's just what was, I don't know, was similar to other projects or something. But yeah, if there's any more context or feelings about from people about those, then feel free to let me know. But I think I might default to what's being used in V1 Beta 1, the controller runtime CLI. Um, but yeah, that's it.
Right. Yeah, we'd probably have to ask Rainbow Mango about
Yeah,
PR12 for that. That's
yeah.
yeah. I don't
Okay,
imagine it
I'll
should
ask.
be
Yeah,
a yeah, it shouldn't be a problem to switch just to controller gen.
yeah. I'll ping him and double check.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other
Um,
comments before we move to the on to the next topic?
uh, is this like I didn't quite follow. Like, do you want like actual review on it, or do you wait for the testing the module things and the controller gen? Or
Um, Great question. I originally was thinking for a review on all of this other stuff, but now that we've had this conversation, I think I probably should do what we just discussed in case it involves any more like moving stuff around, and then we can make a decision of which variant we're going forward with, and then I don't waste other people's brain time looking at um, a PR that might be changing. So, especially one that's like about, files moving around. And so I would need to be using a lot of your brain space to take a look at that. So please
okay,
wait. Thank you.
sounds good.
All right. Arthur, your turn.
Yeah. Ah. Could you either enable the share screen or share the yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Share
I got it.
the PR is good. Thanks. Um okay, so well basically we had like a convo with Laura and the Pierre, which she reviewed and was quite nice. There was two main points that was not unsolved but on the that we don't really know. So the first one was on the release 0.4.0. We didn't updated the label there. So I don't know if
Yeah,
we should
I
do another release fixing that, or is it fine to just go with that? I'm not sure.
yeah, well, I didn't. Not only did I not reset the CRD schema revision, I don't think I updated the release version either, did I?
Yeah,
So I need to
but
fix both of those.
it's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do another release.
And then, so can I assume that we'll do another release piping to 0.5.0 like I'm doing here for the beta? I guess yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So it'll be 041 to fix that, and then you can stay on 050.
Cool. Um, and the other point was about, well, it's not blocking this PR, but what we do with V1 Alpha 1, because this is what I kind of explained here, but the TLDR is that I don't think we can remove V1 Alpha 1 for quite a long time. So, and I don't know if we should, for like the future changes, like my cluster selector things, probably other things, we should add the fields both to V1 Alpha 1 and V1 Beta 1, keep the V1 Alpha 1 as deprecated. I think the main caveat here is that if you read something on V1 Alpha 1, which was stored in V1 Beta 1, and you rewrite it, you could do a read and then a write, you might overwrite it and like remove some field that was in V1 Beta 1. I think that's the main point, but that shouldn't happen very much because usually there is only one owner of all of this. But yeah, it shouldn't be also too much to burden to maintain. I don't really know what to do, but your opinions? There's Mike. Yeah, I think I saw that it was a long time ago. I don't exactly remember his conference, but yeah.
Yeah, there's just a difference with like stored and versus served versions and stuff like that. And like the migration
Yeah.
strategy of like doing them, including them both, and then like switching the stored one and then removing the other one later.
Oh yeah, like right now we are on stored v1 beta 1 and served v1 alpha 1, basically.
yeah, yeah. I'm
But
happy
they
to
are
pick up the
identical right now.
resources if there's anything. Nick Young's given some really good comprehensive talks and write-ups on this kind of CRD versioning stuff. So I'm happy to dig up resources if that's helpful.
Yeah, it could be.
But
But
it sounds like you mostly got it though.
basically the thing is like right now it's a dumb versioning because they are identical, so it doesn't matter. The point is whenever we will introduce new features, should we also include it in v1 alpha 1? This I don't really know. Like it should work most of the time, but maybe we want to take the relatively small maintenance burden. Okay, sorry, I will shut up. Laura?
Yeah, no, I think just I feel like standard is not to pull them down, but I can see how like that's like non-breaking, I guess, if it's additive. The situation that you talked about for like overwriting, isn't that only if somebody did started at v1 alpha 1 and then changed to an API server that has v1 beta 1, I guess, and then downgraded again to v1 alpha 1?
Yeah, basically, if you have a null client that still reads v1 alpha 1 and also writes it after reading it, I think it will overwrite the field that you added in v1 beta 1, basically.
But that's like dependent on what the CRD version was.
So like if it's stored in v1 beta 1 and the client queries and writes it in v1 alpha 1, it's and because
I see.
we don't have any conversion, it will just don't send the additional fields. And so
Yeah.
if you write it again, it's probably going to delete fields that are not there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like I think the other option slash what I expected would be that when we add new fields to v1 beta 1, we have to add like a conversion if necessary for v1 alpha 1. But I see how those, especially if they're just additive, feel the same. So, or like the effect is the same, I guess, since they're not actually different fields from each other.
Yeah, I think we could do that if like if we're changing the field and there is an obvious conversion, but if we add something more, I think it will be the same.
Yeah. I think I will catch up with the resources that Mike is sharing, etc., to make sure that I'm on the same page. And I agree that this is non-blocking right now for this specific PR, and then maybe we can take it up again and decide, especially like when we actually add something, like when we actually do change anything to v1 beta 1. But yeah, I'll get good about it. That's my comments.
Okay, yeah. So let's see later. Yeah. Yeah, I think it should also be kind of fine, but maybe it's problematic for some. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think the usual pattern is, like Laura was saying, that You don't add stuff to, well, once we switch to V1 beta 1, V1 alpha 1 is sort
Okay.
of cast in stone, and we don't change it anymore. So
Okay. Well, let's
but yeah,
let's say
I'll
we
revisit Nick's presentations as well, just to see what the gotchas could be for that.
well, let's say we go with the usual route, and if someone disagree at some point, let's rediscuss or something.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Cool. So on that topic, that's all. I had my well, I had my thread in SIG API machinery that just I was asking them if I could join their meeting, and they say kind of yes, but apart from that, I don't have much other things. Yeah, this was about asking about the cell question and all of that on the
Yeah, if we want to set a
time.
time together, I'm down to go with you. So
Yeah, so the only thing is that I don't know if we should merge and iterate on the first iteration of the cap that says cell, we definitely want to have cell, but later. Or if we want to just go like around right now, I guess. Well, probably in 2 weeks, but
I think we should go forward with the KEP with and cell is later, and then parallel address our confusion slash concerns slash questions with API machinery folks.
my
But
only
like,
point about that, yeah, go ahead.
sorry, yeah, just to be clear, like I think most of the energy should be spent on the KEP as it is with saying, or sorry, the KEP saying cell is later.
Right, but
Yeah.
I think the only point that might make a bit better to slightly wait is that, well, the cap is merged and it's like a clear it's in a state that they can clearly read, and like they are happy about it, and well, we are happy about it, and
Oh, I
they
see.
can understand things and
Sure.
they
Yeah,
can
that's
answer on
fine.
top.
That's fine too. I guess uh I perceive like the kept being merged and talking to them after that the same as doing it in parallel. But yeah.
Ah,
So
okay.
cool. I think we are in agreement.
Okay. So, well, at least maybe not merge, but let's
Sure.
wait for a couple of review first and
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
things like that, I guess.
Sounds good.
And there was also the things going potentially asking SIG Network if they want to check our work and things like that. But that can wait at least the first round of review from you guys.
Cool.
All right, and the links have been pasted in. Thanks,
Yeah,
Mike,
we'll
I
just add
imagine.
what we discussed right now. But yeah.
Yeah, about the cell stuff. Okay.
And actually, could there be, because I know that the SIG network had some talk around, well, whatever topic they were doing at KubeCon, NA, I guess. I don't know if they are doing this year too.
SIG Network. Yeah, there's a session.
So maybe we can talk about that with them there. I don't know who is going there.
Uh, Yeah, well, there'll be, let's see. So it's, yeah, so it's, they've used their slot to give a talk on the state of networking for AI on Kubernetes.
Okay.
There'll be a few of the usual folks, like Antonio will be there, Lionel.
Because like I think I saw it from CNA or some KubeCon sorry, that they had some like I don't know a dozen of sessions around some topic that they wanted to discuss, and many of them was on Gateway API. I guess Mike was there probably, but I don't think they are making it at KubeCon EU.
Is that the contributor summit or the normal tracks?
I think contributor.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
You're asking about the like Gateway API maintainer track update. That there was not going to be one at KubeCon EU this year.
Okay. Okay. Well, so no ability
Yeah.
to get there with them.
Yeah, the selection committee was just more explicitly enforcing the rule of like one maintainer track per SIG, I believe. I think is what happened.
Yeah.
So it got cut this time.
Okay. Well, let's just go async or maybe I don't know how contributor summit works. I never go there, but maybe we could grab something. I don't know.
Yeah, there'll probably be some on-conference slots, so you can always try and there'll
Yeah,
be the hallway track anyway.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Would love
that
to
was
see
also
more
what I
there.
was thinking as well. If they are interested, there's the hallway track, and there's also in the venue there are lots of like nooks and crannies with tables and chairs where you can have ad hoc talks. So yeah, it would definitely be possible.
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe to grab some cell expert, it could be better to do it at KubeCon EU than ganking the weekly CGP machinery, which I'm not sure they really want us there. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. If I can do
Yeah.
that, I will, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's in 2 weeks' time, so we can always try that. And if that doesn't work, then we can try and talk to them about it in their call.
Because so on my side I have the Cilium Dev Summit, which I'm also presenting this a bit, but it's more on the Cilium implementation and how we could do that and discuss there. So I guess I could rehash my slides and try to grab some people there if I can present something.
I don't know who else is going from this SIG, but I could join in even if just to relay and take notes if that helps.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll be there as well. Jeremy and
That's
Laura
good.
actually as well, I think. Yeah. I'm hoping because they're co-presenting the deep dive with me soon.
I'll be
Yeah.
there.
Cool. I'll be there too.
And yeah, so there's the usual SIG meet and greet at lunchtime is being organized as well. On the let me just check on the Tuesday. And there's also a SIG network dinner. Oh no, it'll be on the SIG meet and greet will be on the Wednesday, and there'll be a SIG network dinner. I'm not sure exactly when. You can see the SIG network mailing list for details of that. All right, and that's the end of the agenda. Laura's furiously typing notes.
Seriously.
Yeah, so so I'll get 041 sorted out, hopefully with no other mistakes. Probably
No worries.
tomorrow. Yeah.
Thanks.
And we've got the APAC call on Thursday as well. So I imagine some of the APAC folks who are interested in the cluster inventory release process will be there. So there'll be more release process discussions, and I'll take notes.
Yay.
Okay, so yeah. Thanks everyone for joining, and I'll see you next time. Have a good rest of the week.
Thank you.
Thanks. See you.
Bye.
Yep.